So this is what I like to call a big FU, or a big middle finger to Gary Gensler. So to recap, this morning, of course, SEC charged Coinbase for operating as an unregistered security exchange, broker, and clearing agency. Even though, here's the irony, even though they are the agency that let Coinbase go public in 2021. So this was only 2 years ago. So you tell me how it's possible they didn't know that Coinbase was an unregistered security exchange, broker, and clearing agency, somehow didn't know, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, they are. Like, that doesn't make, and that was only 2 years ago. It's not like 20 years ago, okay? So it doesn't make any sense. So according to Brian Armstrong, first of all, they reviewed our business, allowed to go public. Why didn't they have problems in 2021, right? Gary Gensler keeps on saying all these guys have to do is come in and register. Brian Armstrong's like, there is no come in and register. We tried repeatedly. So we don't list securities. We reject the vast majority of assets review, but the SEC, of course, does not want to give guidance, does not want to come out the list of what's a security, what's not a security. They want to keep everyone in the dark on purpose. Number 3, the SEC and CFTC has conflicting statements, including what's a commodity, what's a security, what about Ethereum, right? What about everything else, stable coins? CFTC also thinks stable coins is commodity, but SEC now doesn't think so, right? So this is why U.S. Congress is introducing new legislation to fix the situation, right? Today, Coinbase was supposed to go talk in front of Congress with the CFTC about this new framework. And it just so happens today, it's the day that SEC decides to sue Coinbase. Bottom line is Brian Armstrong's like, this is utterly ridiculous. There is no registering. And why didn't they, raise a red flag when we tried to go public in 2021, right? And Coinbase has been around since forever. 2013, 2014, why didn't SEC raise any red flags before, right? So really, just really stupid. And Will Komet makes a good point. Bottoms are often marked when price no longer negatively reacts to bad news. Interesting. So we got probably 2 of the worst news from the SEC within the matter of 2 days, yet Bitcoin's price has not gone down any further. Just think about that for a second. What else could have the SEC announced within the last 2 days that is worse than the Binance lawsuit and the Coinbase lawsuit? Absolutely nothing. And despite both of those cases, Bitcoin not only held its ground, but recovered back up to previous levels, right? So just think about that for a second. So that means definitely we have found our local bottom and we're about to rally, quite possibly. SEC files motion for restraining order against Binance, okay? And they have asked the courts to seize Binance.US's assets, corporate assets, not user assets, okay? And Binance.US, of course, said that withdrawals are going to be okay. This has nothing to do with user assets. If the courts agree, then, of course, corporate assets will be frozen. But still, this is unwarranted. They have not once gone to Binance.US and asked them to fix things or ask them about how they're operating. They basically want them to be frozen because of this case against CZ and Binance.com, right? It makes no sense. So again, Gary, he wants to be taken seriously, right? People are laughing at his other 2. And then this came out, trying to freeze Binance.US assets. And again, Bitcoin didn't go down. Bitcoin didn't move at all. In fact, it just continued to go upwards. It would be really funny if Bitcoin hits 30,000 within the next few days. By the end of this week, if Bitcoin rallies and goes up to 30,000, I don't know what kind of fit Gary's going to have then, because I really think that he did not expect this. I'll be honest, I didn't even expect this. This morning when I was recording, I'm like, You know, it kind of sucks. We're now in 25,000, right? But then we started creeping back up. People rallied. The crypto market rallied. I mean, not only that, sentiment, if you guys been paying attention on Twitter, it's really good. Is it time to start loading up on XRP? Because, you know, Brad Garlinghouse said that this case will end in weeks. And he said that about a week ago. Okay, so so this makes sense. This makes sense that Gary knows he's about to lose this lawsuit, which started back in 2020. So it's like 2.5 years, almost 3 years. Gary may know that they will be losing. And this is definitely a big blow to the SEC if they lose, right? They can no longer declare XRP as security, can't declare Ethereum as security, right? So this may be the reason why Gary is doing this, trying to stay relevant, trying to protect his job, okay? Or maybe just protecting the banks. Maybe he's protecting a lot of things that we don't know yet, but he does need to do something if they lose, right? Which I'm kind of thinking is going to happen, which is why he's being so aggressive. Now, the other reason could be due to this. Gary Gensler says the U.S. doesn't need cryptocurrency. We have digital currencies. You know what it is? It is the U.S. dollar. And then he adds and says, oh, we have the euro, the yen. They're all digital now. So according to Gary Gensler, we don't need cryptocurrency. Yet when he was at MIT, he was saying nothing but good things about Algorand and Ethereum and blockchain and everything, you know, under the moon. But now he's saying, no, we don't need any crypto. That's why he's attacking everything. Stable coins, staking, right? Exchanges, like literally everything. So what's going on here, right? Is he trying to protect his butt because he's about to lose? Or maybe he's protecting the banks, the very banks that he has worked for the longest tenure. Guess where? Goldman Sachs.
Do you think it's existential to the ecosystem?
Absolutely. You do. Absolutely. I think that if you are in a series of coins that were mentioned, and we all kind of know them, you know, we're talking about Solano, talking about Matic, Cardano. These are viewed, you know, we're talking about Solano, talking about Matic, Cardano.
Cardano. I don't know why that sounds so funny. Cardano. You know, he prefaced by saying we all know him, right? Like,
I know them.
Yeah.
We all kind of know them.
We all kind of know them.
You know, we're talking about Solano.
Solano.
Talking about Matic.
Matic, you got that right. Cardano. We
are
all know him,
in the
right? We know Solano and Cardano. I don't know why that sounds funny, but it is. He likes names with O's, I guess, behind it. Cardano.